So then my assistant was like, he wants to hang out with you next week. And I was like, for what? He's like, I think he's trying to fuck you. That's what my assistant said. And I was like, oh, okay. Now I get it. So now no more communication. Now you know to be hands off with somebody.
So I don't know if y'all seen this yet, but 50 Cent might get shot again, dog. Apparently 50 Cent just sold a Diddy doc to Netflix after a bidding war. Okay, so apparently there's more victims, and 50 Cent talks about it a little bit. Hey man, one thing about 50 Cent, he gonna stay on Diddy's neck. I don't know what Diddy did to this man.
Just as we thought the Diddy situation couldn't get any crazier, Terrence Howard just exposed something that Hollywood never wanted you to hear. And the way Diddy is connected to it, it's worse than anyone imagined. He thought he was walking into an acting lesson. That's what the invite said. Diddy personally asked Terrence to help coach him, said he wanted to improve his acting and needed one-on-one time.
Puffy invited me for weeks, asking me to come and teach him how to, wanted me to be his acting coach for a while. Go there and he's sitting around just looking. I'm like, okay, what's the material you want to work on? He's just looking at me. Then next thing you know, okay, hey, will you help me? I want to hear your music. So I come over there and I play the music. And he's sitting there just looking at me, like waiting. Okay.
So Howard shows up, ready to work. But instead of any scene study or dialogue practice, Diddy just sat there. No conversation, no script, just silence and staring. Every time they met, it was the same. At first, Howard brushed it off. Maybe Diddy was eccentric. Maybe he was just nervous. But something felt off. Then Howard's assistant pulled him aside with a warning that changed everything. They said, Terrence, that man don't want acting lessons. That was it. Howard never went back.
So then my assistant was like, he wants to hang out with you next week. And I was like, for what? He's like, I think he's trying to fuck you. That's what my assistant said. And I was like, oh, okay. Now I get it. So now no more communication. Now you know to be hands off with somebody.
But this wasn't just a weird Hollywood story. This was a crack in the surface of something darker. Howard started to speak up. And once he did, he couldn't stop. That podcast episode turned into a full-on truth bomb about what Hollywood does to men, especially black men. He said it outright. There's a system in place that tries to break you, to strip you down, to make you give up parts of yourself just to stay in the game. And if you don't play along, you're out.
A number of producers come in to make the approach, and you threaten to punch them in the mouth, or threaten to knock their head off for talking to you or looking at you like you're a woman. When you approach a real man about his masculinity, you're going to get a real reaction back. It's a difference when a guy walks in a room and when a man walks into a room. And a man don't take the same things that a guy will accept. So always be the man in the room. And that's always been my whole thing, and have lost businesses because I don't bend over in that way. I don't compromise. I don't play gay roles. I don't kiss a man. I don't do that shit. Because the man card means everything.
Howard says he drew the line early. He refused to wear dresses and roles, refused to play characters designed to humiliate him, and that decision, it cost him gigs. But he didn't care, because what he saw at those industry parties, the ones behind closed doors, was something that stuck with him forever.
Who knows what happened to Philip? Who knows what Heath had to do in order to get to where he was at? There's a lot of things that people do that end up sitting and they can't get over it. And they got to keep getting high, hoping to get it out of their head. But when you lose your man card, that's the only thing I can think of. You lose your damn man card.
What is that? What do you mean by that?
You give up your ability, your right to being a man. A man don't take it, a man gives it. So when you give up that man card, you don't get that back.
Are you saying what I think you're saying?
No, I'm saying what I'm saying. You don't get that back. You come into this world as a man one time. You give up that right for anything, for fear of being hurt, fear of somebody doing something, for wanting to gain something. When you give up that man card right, you lose some spiritual energy that has always been pushing through. Like if a woman gives up her womanly right of being a mother and taking care of her family and do all those things, when you give up those things, but when you give up your manhood, I've never seen somebody recover from it. That was all the people that went to the Puffy parties. That was all the people that did all those things thinking that there was never going to be a consequence for what they were doing. get punked out and pimped out by some greater desire. You shouldn't have a greater desire than being a man. So I believe that's a big problem with a lot of the actors out there because they get fluid. And next thing you know, once you go fluid, it's gone. You don't have any foundation to pull yourself back from. So maintain your man card, no matter what.
He said other actors gave up their man card just to survive. They left those rooms changed. Some, like Justin Bieber, he claimed, never recovered emotionally. The way he said it, you could feel he'd seen things most people wouldn't believe. But it wasn't just their identity that got stripped. For Howard, they went after his wallet too. He was the star of Hustle and Flow, the guy who gave that raw, unforgettable performance. The film made over $75 million at the box office. His paycheck? $12,000. That's not a typo. That's not missing a zero. $12,000.
Did you have a gut feeling that this movie was going to be really transformative?
No, check this out. I made $12,000 for doing Hustle and Flow. And then on top of it, what Paramount did, instead of putting my name as Terrence Howard performing the songs, they put performed by DJ. Well, they own DJ. So guess what? The performance royalties went to Paramount. They went,
Wait a minute. They didn't go to Terrence Howard. They went to
$12,000. That's all I ever made from Hustle and Flow. Everything else went right back into Paramount. So now I got to sue Paramount or send them a letter.
Are you serious?
I got to send them a letter to say, hey, you guys owe me about 20 years worth of residuals and performance royalties.
Then there's Crash, which won the Oscar for Best Picture. He got $6,000 for that. But the worst part, he wasn't even paid music royalties for Hustle and Flow. Why? Because the rights were given to the fictional character he played, DJ. Not to Terrence Howard, the real human being who recorded the songs. That's not just shady, that's robbery in plain sight. Now, he's looking into legal action to fight back. And that's when 50 Cent stepped in. No drama, no long caption, just a repost of Howard's interview and 4 little words. No comment, I'm staying positive, God help us all. 50 didn't have to say more. People knew exactly what he meant. But that wasn't the end of it. Quietly, he's working behind the scenes. Word started spreading. 50 is developing a Netflix documentary. It's called Did He Do It? And it's reportedly aimed straight at Diddy and the power structure behind him.
This will be exposed. I mean, when I walk in, I definitely take pride in being the originator of the preparation of the sex. Little things that I personally like. A lot of ladies, they just, so if you don't have what they need, they're gonna leave. Right. Gotta keep them there. Right. You need locks on the doors. P. Diddy be wanting the body. And you gotta tell him no. You got to tell him no. All of these big deviants is all catching hell in 2024. It's up for all of them. It don't matter if you Diddy or whoever you is.
Terrence Howard's clip? Just the start. 50's been talking to insiders. People who saw things. People who were there. He wants them in the doc. And that got other celebrities looking nervous.
So I don't know if y'all seen this yet, but 50 Cent might get shot again, dog. Apparently 50 Cent just sold a Diddy doc to Netflix after a bidding war. Okay, so apparently there's more victims, and 50 Cent talks about it a little bit. Hey man, one thing about 50 Cent, he gonna stay on Diddy's neck. I don't know what Diddy did to this man, but yeah, he's on this man's neck, and he's not letting up, big dog. That shit is crazy, bro.
Tyrese didn't say much either. Just posted Howard's clip with a vague caption, but the message was clear. He knows. Then the game chimed in.
I started kicking it with Diddy, right? I ran around with Diddy for 2 years, and this Diddy, we never went to the studio one time, but he was like, yo, I fuck with your demo, that shit. Bad boy, but hey, Playboy, hey, here go a watch, Playboy, here go a chain, Playboy. I'm like, yo, we ever gonna rap? Like, nah.
I was doing it for 2 years.
But the jet leave at 5. We going to Miami, Playboy. We going to, we going to New York. We in ATL this weekend, Playboy, pop out. And I was going everywhere with Diddy, and then one day this Diddy, me and Diddy was smoking. He was like, you know what I've been thinking? You belong with Dr. Dre. No, you don't say. But so Diddy told me that, and before I went to go fuck with Diddy, I went to go fuck with Suge. And Suge had, at this time, if you remember, he had Eastwood, Crooked Eye, Corrupt, and Left Eye. And I felt like, I was young, and I had my whole hood with me. My city was behind me, like Death Row. Right. Why wouldn't you want to be signed to Death Row? It's Pac, it's Snoop, it's Dre, it's Suge. And plus, I didn't give a fuck at that time about nothing. I wanted to do the music, but I was still heavy in the streets.
He admitted it. He partied with Diddy all over the world. 2 years straight. They traveled, they hung out. But not once did they record a song together. Looking back, the game said things felt strange, especially once lawsuits against Diddy started surfacing.
Well, we talked about in our last interview that before you got signed to Aftermath, you and Diddy were running around together.
Right.
You fast forward 2024, and Diddy's in a whole new world.
Right.
With the Cassie lawsuits, saying that he blew up Kid Cudi's car. Then the whole freak-off situation and the gay rumors and the Meek Mills getting dragged into it and everything else like that. What are your thoughts on it? Did you and Puff maintain a relationship over the years or not really?
I still got a relationship with Puff. Whenever I talk to him, it's always gonna be the same. He ain't never been nothing to me but a good person. I've been around Puff for millions of times, and I ain't never seen, none of the shit that people are talking about, but that's just my experience. I don't know what other people experience, if it's true, if it's not true, or whatever. I just know Puff always been good, a good mentor and a good big brother and somebody in hip hop that I looked up to for obvious reasons, to me. So outside of the Cassie situation, which, I think they settled that, right? So he had that.
Oh, he settled it quick.
Right. So that means that he owned up to whatever it was that they had.
Well, just to be fair, I don't want to interrupt you, but settling doesn't mean you own up.
I'm not saying own up. I'm saying he took the responsibility to settle something that was in the media that needed to be settled, is what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? So outside of that, all the extra shit, it just seems like, and again, I'm not saying that people who are accusing nobody ain't right or he ain't right or nothing. It's not my business. But if we're going to speak on it, I'm going to say that sometimes when black moguls reach a certain point in their career or their life, or they, let's say, go at it with, I don't know, their alcohol company, or they're at odds with bigger corporations, this seems to happen. It happened with Kanye and Adidas. They try to tear you down. And it seems like right after Diddy said he's parting ways with the Ciroc people, whatever, this shit came out. And I don't know if it has any connection. I'm just saying that, 80 fucking years after Bill Cosby did the Cosby Show, women are saying he put a motherfucking pill in they drink, and then Cosby goes to jail.
Now, his old friendship looks more like a warning sign. The industry always says, don't bite the hand that feeds you. But what if that hand is hiding something way worse? There was a time Jay-Z would drop everything for Diddy. Literally. He skipped his own daughter's recital once, just to attend a Diddy event. They weren't just friends. Diddy called him family. In interviews, he said Jay-Z was the only person besides his mom allowed to call him by his real name, Sean.
Who is Sean approved from the world of entertainment?
There's only one person.
Oh, go on.
And I call him Sean. That's Jay-Z. We call each other Sean.
Okay.
Yeah. Nobody else could call me Sean.
He's the only person who's Sean approved.
There's not a single person that
outside of family.
That should be outside of my mother.
Okay,
that should be calling me. Yeah, that should be calling me Sean.
But lately, Jay's gone quiet. No public support. No reposts, no words, just silence. People started noticing. Has Jay-Z distanced himself on purpose? Does he know what's coming? And if he did know something, would he speak up? Let's talk about Stevie J. He's been Diddy's guy for years. And when the accusations started coming in, Stevie didn't hesitate to clap back. Hard.
Curtis, what's good, man? You and your feelings about Daphne? Is she with gang them? Or is it that you sucking little rod? However it go, I want you to fade, nigga. Fuck all that. Since it's entertainment, let me beat the shit out of you on TV or something. Don't duck that. I'm calling you out. What you want to do, Curtis? Curtis!
Some say he was defending his friend. Others say he was defending something much bigger. Then there's Machine Gun Kelly. In an interview, he hinted that things around Diddy weren't normal. He said he'd had strange experiences, but wouldn't go into detail.
You know why Puff's parties are so cool, man? Because you can't get into the party. It doesn't matter what the fuck's going on in the party. Nothing cool is going on in the party. It's a party. But you can't, for some fucking reason, at his party, you can't get into his party. So now what do you want to do? Get into that man's party and see what the fuck all the hubbub's about. So right now I have a do not fucking enter sign on Machine Gun Kelly, man.
And then came Jonathan Oy, a former staffer who filed shocking claims. He said he caught an STD from Diddy and was then silenced by Rick Ross, who he says was sent to threaten him. Oi also named Ross and DJ Khaled as regulars at Diddy's parties, said they were always there, said they knew. That's when the silence started feeling like something more than fear. It felt like protection. Look around. Only a few people are talking. Terrence Howard, 50 Cent, Cat Williams. Everyone else? Quiet. And in Hollywood, silence usually means one of two things: guilt or fear. The upcoming Did He Do It? Documentary might finally shine a light on what's been whispered about for years. But if even half of what's being claimed is true, this won't just be a scandal. It'll be a collapse. And the real question now, who's next?